Welcome back, YouTube. It's O-Gauge CNR here. I'm just going to show you guys how I'll be constructing Trestle Bridge 2.0. As many of you probably already seen, I have a rather large trestle bridge. I didn't really put much thought and planning into it when I built my first one, and I found it just not look overall eye-appealing, in my mind at least. Some of you may like it. I am not really fond of it. So I decided to drop some new trestle piers. Now, the problem with these is that they're double track and there's nothing prototypical to go off of. So you kind of just got to design your own thing, base it off of the single ones. So this is the design I came up with. This is the first time, or probably the third or fourth time I drew it. I drew it on paper and then I drew it out on a large surface like this here to make a jig out of. And anyhow, I then came up with this. This is my final copy. I do not have the vertical members in place yet, but I am designing a jig. This will be the first step you'll do when making a trestle bridge. And by a jig, I mean I'll glue little pieces of wood here and here and here and here and everywhere to make sure that every time I make one of these here, it is exactly perfect. Now, the spacing I went with for the double is 8 inches across. Keep in mind, this is curved. I know these measurements because I have my track already in place of what I want to do. Now, I went with 4-inch spacing between each one of these vertical members, or horizontal. I can't remember which one's which. Nevertheless, since I went with 4 inches spacing from this wood member to this wood member, that means each pier is going to be spaced 4 inches apart as well, making a much more uniform look. Because this is the pier design I have currently for this trestle bridge. Now follow me over here through the layout. This is the current one that I have in place. And as you can see, I didn't space my piers proper at all. Everything just doesn't look good because I made sloppy mistakes from the very start. If you're going to build one of these, everything has to be perfect or it's not going to look good. The next video I'll post, I'll show how my jig is made, and I'll also show you how each trestle goes together in full form.